I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnn. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
This episode is brought to you by Walmart. New beauty is in bloom at Walmart, and it's all about springtime radiance. From Drybar, Tula Skincare, and hundreds more available online, Walmart has the premium brands you want and this season's on-trend products for flawless, glossy hair and hydrated skin. Big name beauty brands? Check. The things you love? Check. Find trending spring beauty and all you need to look and feel gorgeous at Walmart, on app and online.
Hi, and welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I'm the founder of the Food Truck Training Group on Facebook, co-owner with my beautiful wife, Melissa, of our own food truck. It's called Food Truck 101, and I'm the executive director of the National Street Food Vendors Association, which is a nonprofit dedicated to education, advocacy, and uplifting all food vendors. Today, we're going to be talking about mindset. And it's one of those buzzwords that I really hate using, but most people know what we're talking about. Your mindset is how you look at problems. Do you look at them as a half full glass or a half empty glass? Basically, are you optimistic or are you pessimistic? How you view every single interaction in your food truck and in your business life is either answering the question, we are doing awesome, or look, it's terrible. And it's all your own internal perceptions. So let's talk about embracing that entrepreneurial experience and how to make it the most successful for your particular business. So success in the food truck industry starts with adapting an entrepreneurial mindset. Obviously, you decided to start a small business, so we've got to be an entrepreneur. Some people don't call themselves that. Of course, I never did. I always thought that was too fancy of a word for a hillbilly from Kentucky, but that's what we are. We're entrepreneurs. So we have to have that entrepreneurial mindset. Think about some of the most successful food trucks that basically all they did was transform a simple idea into a thriving mobile business. How about Cousins Lobsters? A lobster roll is a staple in New England, and now they've taken it all across the country, and they're doing quite well with it. Chicken and Waffles, another product. There are many different food trucks doing some variation of chicken and waffles, and they're doing quite well. Basically, they saw every challenge as an opportunity. They didn't see it as a setback. Oh my God, I got to close. They saw it as, how do we continue to thrive as a business? How can we continue to drive sales? How can we improve profitability with this obstacle standing in our way? Any successful food truck doesn't just serve food. If they just serve food, they will go out of business. It may take them a couple of years, but they will go out of business. What they're creating is an experience that's on wheels, and that experience involves food. And as I have talked about before, food creates wonderful memories and creates a link, an emotional link between the consumer, the person eating the food, and that food truck. If you're not creating that emotional connection to where the food brings them memories or reminds them of home or reminds them of a happy time in their life, they're not going to come back, because they can get substance anywhere. So ask yourself, are you ready to take on the risk and embrace the constant change? Because we all know there is constant change. There are no 2 days that are exactly alike in any business, but certainly in the food truck business. Something breaks down today. We run out of a product today. There's a shortage somewhere. There's always challenges, and they're not going to go away. I've been doing this 48 years. I can assure you the challenges do not go away. What does change is how you look at those challenges. There was a food truck that I worked with a long time ago, a real long time ago, that started out serving just the classics, just street food. And then they decided that this wasn't good enough. And they were right. They were doing okay, but what they were selling was no different than anyone else. I'm not just talking food trucks. It was no different than other fast food restaurants. It was no different than what you could buy in the grocery store or convenience store. Basically, the only thing that kept them alive was convenience. They were in areas where there was no readily available food. So if somebody's hungry, well, I got to go there because they're the only food source around. Now, eventually, other people figure that out, and now there's more food trucks there. So now that food that was quote-unquote popular because it was the only food is now run-of-the-mill and recognized as run-of-the-mill. And the other food trucks that are doing a better job serving something exciting we're getting all the business. So they decided, we've got to change. We've got to do something that's going to make our food more appealing. And so they started experimenting with fusions and making their food a little bit different, something that people, number one, couldn't make at home themselves, and number two, would be memorable. They looked at the challenge being, we got competitive intrusion. How do we rise above the competitive intrusion? And they did it through changing their menu. And what that means is they brought in flavors people could not duplicate. They became unique. Another cornerstone of having the right mindset as an entrepreneur is resilience. We just talked about problem solving and recognizing the problem and then figuring out a way to get around that particular problem. Now you got to be resilient, because if you figure out the problem, you got two choices. We can either embrace it and figure out how to make it better, or we can just throw our hands up and go, well, time to sell. And that's where resilience comes in. The food truck business is notorious for having ups and downs. It is a literal roller coaster ride. There are days when sales are going to be booming, and then there are days when it feels like nothing's going your way. It feels like it's a beautiful day. Why is no one out and coming to my business? There are days on our food truck when it is gorgeous. The sun is shining. It's mid-70s. It is a perfect day. And we will look around our park and realize there is not a single soul outside walking a dog. There's not a single soul walking by at all. And it's those days where you go, what is going on? Sometimes you can figure out the answer. And in our case, sometimes we can't. It's just one of those things where the community has decided that today's a good day to either go somewhere else, and they're not even in our park, or they stay at home and watch TV. Sometimes you don't know the answer, but you've got to be resilient. You've got to be thinking about bouncing back. Tomorrow's going to be a new day, as they say. You've got to never, ever let a bad day define tomorrow. A lot of food truck owners love being able to complain about how horrible sales are. You step up to a food truck and say, hey, how you doing? How's business going? Oh my God, it's being so dead. I've been sitting around twiddling my thumbs. Okay, well, if you had time to twiddle your thumbs, why weren't you on social media letting people know that you were there? It's grit. It's determination. You have to build trust and reputation. You have to take action. You cannot just sit back and go, oh, it's another dead day. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Look at all this food I cooked and now it's going to go to waste. Get on social media, improvise, set up a special, set up a discount. Say, come on down here for the next hour, 50% off. Okay, you may get absolutely nobody coming, which means you have a poor social media draw. That's something to work on. But if you put on your social media, hey, for the next half hour, everything's 50% off, and you get swarmed over, you've at least made something. Would you rather throw it away? Or would you rather at least sell it at a discount? So you got to ask yourself, when you're faced with adversity, do you see it as the end of the road, or is it just a little detour, a little speed bump that you got to go over? It's the kind of thinking that you have internally, that self-speak. Oh my God, it's another great day, or oh my God, it's another bad day. What do you wake up telling yourself? Are you excited to go to the food truck? Are you excited to get in your vehicle and go drive to Cisco or wherever you pick up your food? Are you excited to go to the commissary? If you're not, here's your sign. You're already starting on that road of this being a job you don't like. And as I say many times, if you create your own job with your food truck, at some point you're not going to like your boss. So it's all about continuous learning. It's all about adaptation. Like I've said, the food truck industry is dynamic. It changes every single day. Trends shift just like the seasons do. What's popular this year may not be popular next year. A successful mindset, and all a mindset is your internal speak to yourself. Do you like what you do? Do you like the people around you? If you open up and hate customers, you're going to have a very bad day, because that internal definition of customers defines how you treat them, and it defines how you do everything on your food truck. I'm excited to see people walk up because they have a little dollar sign over their head, and I want to extract as many dollars as they brought with them to put them in my cash register. So I am super excited to see somebody walk up. If we have a line of 10 or 12 people, I'm still excited to see somebody join that line. It's not, oh my God, won't they leave me alone? I can't get caught up. Come on down, join the line. I'm going to entertain you while we're getting caught up. That's my role. You have a line 60 people deep. You can't look at it and go, oh my God, are they ever going to go home? Because that internal speak to yourself is how you're going to act. It is near impossible to separate how you feel about something from how you show those feelings. If you're that good of an actor, you need to be in Hollywood. We were talking to some food truck owners the other day, and they talked about their customer service voice. And we all know what it is when we hear it. Some people are more exaggerated, especially servers. "Oh, sweetie, everything's awesome. Can I get you another cup of coffee?" Those kind of voices, some people appreciate, some people don't, but at least they're trying. They're trying to sound happy. They're trying to sound upbeat. They're trying to sound like they care about the person that's going to be tipping them. The idea is you come across being sincere. When somebody steps up to me and say, "Hey, how's the business been?" And I'll tell them, "Today's not as great as we wanted it to be, but you're here. What can I get for you today?" Didn't say anything bad. It's not as great as we wanted it to be, but you're here, and you've got my complete, undivided attention. What can I get for you today? I have stepped up to food trucks where the owner has been playing on their phone, didn't realize I was standing in front of their window until I picked something up and dropped it on their serving ledge, and then they looked up and frowned because I picked something up and dropped it on their serving ledge. Then they step up, "What can I get you?" So whenever someone does that to me, I typically respond the opposite of their energy. "Well, how you doing today? Are you having an awesome day?" "No, it's been dead." "Well, I would love to buy some food. Would you like to sell me some?" "Sure." "Nah, it's okay. I expect the food's going to taste the way your attitude does." It's all about how you talk to yourself. It's all about the presentation you give because of that internal speak. Now, I want you to take a moment. If you're driving, pull off the side of the road. If you're not driving, grab a pen and a piece of paper, grab your favorite note-taking app, write down one challenge that you're facing in your business. One, doesn't matter what it is. And it doesn't have to be something that is so complicated. All it is a note for yourself. So it says note to self. No one else is going to read it. No one else is going to judge it and go, "Well, that's a stupid thing to be worried about." If it worries you, it is not stupid. If you're concerned about it, write it down. Then I want you to think about the solution. However small the problem may seem, especially after you write it down, no matter how large the problem may seem, especially when you write it down, what is going to be the solution? One step, doesn't matter what it is. It may not be the thing to fix the problem, but it may be the thing to push you in the right direction. So write down the problem. Write down one step you're going to do today to work on making that problem, that challenge, go away. And if it doesn't go away off your first thought, guess what? You can have a second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth attempt at it. The key is to take action. Change how you internally talk to yourself. Today's an awesome day because you know what? You woke up. There's a whole bunch of people today that did not wake up. So get out there and attack your business with the enthusiasm you had when you first had that idea. When you were doing a million things. "Oh, what am I going to sell? Where am I going to buy it from? Where am I going to get a food truck from?" You were shopping and you were looking and you were doing research every single day. You were excited about the business. You knew you had stuff to learn. Guess what? You still have stuff to learn. I'm 65 years old. I still read all about the industry every single day. I take a whole bunch of different newsletters and journals and read them. What's going on? How can I relate this to food truck industry? What do I need to know about the restaurant industry that's changing? What's happening in the world as far as the farming goes? The supplies go. I'm always reading. I'm always learning. I cannot just sit idly by and watch TV. I have 2 shows that I watch that I find very interesting and will actually make the time to sit and watch them when they come on. 2 shows. They're each 1 hour in length. And you know what? They are not entertainment and they're not comedy. They're not the kind of things that people just sit and watch for hours and hours and they talk about, "I binged it." I don't watch dramas, educational stuff. I like learning. But 2 hours, Bill is watching TV. How many hours are you on TV? How many hours are you playing Xbox? How many hours are you scrolling through social media mindlessly? I get on social media, it is to do something on our Facebook group, or it's something to do with the association. If I'm on my computer, it is not, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm doing things to move the businesses that we have forward. You got to do the same thing. Yes, there's going to be ups and downs, but how you internally embrace those ups and downs is going to lead you to a very, very happy life or a very, very sad life. Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding everything that we do helpful, please consider subscribing. And if you really love what we do, there's a link in the description so you can help support us. Every little bit does help keep us going. Until next time, you guys have a profitable week.